If you're considering getting Medicare Supplement Plan N instead of Medicare Supplement Plan G, here is an exercise I want you to go through before you make that decision. Before I explain what the exercise is, let me explain to you why I want you to do this. Medicare Supplement Plan G is more comprehensive than Medicare Supplement Plan N. They both are going to cover the same claims. However, with Medicare Supplement Plan N, you may end up with some copays, and you also may have to pay what is called excess charges. This exercise is regarding the excess charges. In order for a doctor to work with a Medicare patient, that doctor has to be contracted with Medicare. 98% of the doctors have a contract where they accept assignment. So in other words, they accept whatever the Medicare approved amount is, and they do not charge more money than that. Less than 2% of the doctors have a little bit of a different contract. They do not accept assignment, which means they can charge 15% over the Medicare approved amount. So if the Medicare approved amount is $1,000, you could be billed an extra $150. Medicare Supplement Plan G is going to cover that excess charge. Medicare Supplement Plan N is not. So before you decide to go to Medicare Supplement Plan N over G, you can go onto Medicare.gov and you can look up your doctors and determine if they charge extra or if they are going to charge only the Medicare approved amount. Now they say, but I don't have a list, that a lot of these doctors in that 2% or less are in the mental health field. But that doesn't mean one of your doctors cannot fall into that group, and so you do want to check it out. So let's talk about how you do that. The first thing you want to do is go to Medicare.gov, and then when you get to the webpage, you're going to see these 4 options below me, and you can see one where it says about providers. I think it's right over there. And so click on that, go to the providers, find care, and I'll show you the next step. When you click on that link, the next thing you're going to do is see this list next to me, and you're going to go to find providers. Then going to input the location, the zip code, and the name of your doctor. Once you find the name of your doctor, and I'm blocking mine, it's right behind me, but you're going to see this language below, and it says charges the Medicare approved amount, which means that you are not going to pay more than what Medicare approves. Going forward in the future, you can just make sure that you are choosing doctors that accept assignment. So once you've determined your doctors charge the Medicare approved amount and you decided you do not care about copays, then what you're going to look to see is how much are the savings, the difference between G and N. If it's $10 difference a month, you know that's not going to make sense. But if you're saving $50 a month, that is $600, if I'm doing the math right, $600 a year. And every time you have a copay, you slowly chip away at the savings, but at least you have the savings. And as long as your doctors accept assignment, then you're not going to be expecting to pay additional out-of-pocket costs for your medical care. So it's something to think about. Go through this exercise.